Assalamualaikum and good day. My name is Nurul Aida binti Norisham, A19A0700. Our group research is factor influencing fast food consumption among adolescents in Malaysia. Now I will explain the research introduction. The goal of this study was to look at the factor that influence fast food intake among Malaysian adolescents. Because of the changes in people's lifestyle and nutritional habit, there's a growing number of individuals of all ages, particularly adolescents and young adults, are gravitating for fast food. As a result, it's critical to comprehend the causes and repercussions of fast food consumption among Malaysian adolescents. Next is problem statement. The alarming increase in the number of people of all ages eating fast food is the major concern of this study. There are various age groups, notably adolescents and young adults, are likely to consume fast food as a result of change and transition in their lifestyle and dietary habits. Also, fast food intake was also linked to obesity and central adiposity in Malaysia. Next is research question. The research question are: number 1, what is the parallel between gender and fast food consumption behavior among adolescents in Malaysia? 2, what is the connection between allowance and fast food consumption behavior among adolescents in Malaysia? 3, what is the interrelation between behavior intention and fast food consumption behavior among adolescents in Malaysia? 4, what is the correlation between social support and fast food consumption behavior among adolescents in Malaysia? Next slide is research objective. The research objective is to determine the relationship between gender and fast food intake among Malaysian adolescents. Next is to identify the connection between allowance and fast food consumption behavior among adolescents in Malaysia. Also, to recognize the interrelation between behavior, intention, and fast food consumption behavior among adolescents in Malaysia. Lastly, it is to discover the correlation between social support and fast food intake among Malaysian adolescents. Next, we have 6 operational definition. First is fast food. Fast food is a sort of mass-produced cuisine intended for commercial resale with a significant emphasis on speed of service over other culinary science-related criteria. Second point is fast food consumption behavior. In the context of fast food consumption, attitude refers to a person's personal good or bad feeling about the consumption of fast food. Third is gender. We like to summarize the gender difference in fast food eating pattern. Next point is allowance. Allowance is how the fast food is moderately expensive and favored by people of most age groups. Another point is behavior intention. Behavior intention refers to a set of human action that comprise attitude, subjective norms, and perceived behavioral control toward fast food. The last point is social support. Social support is indicate that people frequent consumption of fast food could be ascribed to the unique properties of these items. Thank you.
My name is Nur Shazwani binti Mamaria and my matric number is A19A0694. I will present Chapter 2 Literature Review. In this part, we will discuss for both of independent and dependent variables that happen among adolescents. The independent variable, which is gender, allowance, behavior, intention, social support, and accessibility of information. The dependent variable, that is fast food consumption behavior. I will discuss more detail about IV and DV based on the framework, which is factor influencing fast food consumption behavior among adolescents in Malaysia. First, dependent variable, fast food consumption behavior. According to H.A. Mazhabadi 2016, that happen because of the changes and transition in the lifestyle and dietary habits of people. An increasing number of people from different age groups, particularly adolescents and young adults, are inclined towards consuming fast food. Numerous studies have reported several negative effects attributed to fast food consumption, ranging from weight gain among the young to increased risk of diabetes. J. Obes 2013. However, some organizations such as the World Cancer Research Fund and the American Institute for Cancer Research suggested minimal fast food consumption because of the possible association between fast food intake and weight gain. JM 2009. Next is independent variable 1 and dependent variable, which is relationship between gender and fast food consumption behavior. Showed that boys were more interested in eating fast food than girls, these groups mention different reasons for their varying level of interest in fast food. Thus, understanding the determinants of healthy eating can help policymakers, experts, and families to make better decisions on the dietary habits of the younger generations and prevent the likely health threats associated with fast food by designing appropriate interventions. Rasmussen and 2006. Last but not least, independent variable 2 and dependent variable, which is the relationship between allowance and fast food consumption behavior. The allowance represents the amount of money allocated from the parents' income to be given to the child within a certain period of time. Fitri 2012. Higher allowance makes the frequency of fast food consumption also higher. This happens because adolescents get enough allowance and freedom to buy fast food. Intahani 2013. In addition to buying fast food, high allowance is used to meet the needs of adolescents when outside the home, so that the pattern of food consumption and intercourse tends to change. Sinaga 2016. Based on some previous explanation, it can be said that allowance directly relates to the ability to buy and order fast food. Having more allowance will increase the opportunity of adolescents to buy fast food because they feel able and free to buy fast food with their own money.
I will continue to present chapter 2, which is independent variables 3 and dependent variable relationship between behavior intention and fast food consumption behavior. Okay, first of all, my name is Nurul Akilah binti Husni and my metric number is A1980715. Okay, the results of this study are in line with research that Hanum 2014 said, which states that the factor of interest or desire to consume fast food has a relationship with the occurrence of abnormal nutritional status among adolescents. In addition, Anugrah 2014 said the effect of westernization has encouraged young people to favor fast food to suit what they want. So, adolescents' nutritional status was above normal due to their modern lifestyle, which is overweight. This is due to frequent consumption of high-calorie, high-fat fast food without being accompanied by physical exercise. Next is independent variable 4 and dependent variable relationship between social support and fast food consumption. Okay, one of the external elements that influence a person's decision to eat fast food is social support. The external element in issue are to copy others, join an association, invite a friend, and have enjoyment. That Hanum 2014 said. Also, Yawat 2019 said that fast food or ready-to-eat food is the best alternative for busy parents or taking fast food when spending time with family in modern society. Okay, next part is independent variable 5 and dependent variable relationship between accessibility of information and fast food consumption. Okay, fast food is one of them and it is becoming increasingly popular in the neighborhood. For example, social media may be utilized to notify people about convenient fast food places. Even if discounts are offered, this makes quick food more appealing to youngers than home-cooked meals, said Sinaga 2016. Last but not least, I will talk about research hypotheses. Okay, hypothesis 1. The higher influence of gender, the higher factor influencing fast food consumption among adolescents in Malaysia. Hypothesis 2. The higher allowance, the higher factor influencing fast food consumption among adolescents in Malaysia. Hypothesis 3. The highest behavior intention, the higher factor influencing fast food consumption among adolescents in Malaysia. Hypothesis 4. The higher social media support, the higher factor influencing fast food consumption among adolescents in Malaysia. Last, Hypothesis 5. The higher accessibility of information, the higher factor influencing fast food and consumption among adolescents in Malaysia. That is all for me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nurul Aishafika binti Jamisulo. My metric number is A19A0701. Now, I want to present about the research methodology in this study. In this study, the researcher used qualitative research to assess complaints such as people's attitude, behavior, value system, culture, and lifestyle. In this study, the researcher used primary and secondary data. Secondary data using journals, articles, and websites about the research of the study. Secondary data can give strength to the primary data. Next is methods and sources. The researcher used the interview as interview instrument for qualitative research. The interviewer used a question guide that covered the main question. The question followed by a number of investigative questions to fully obtain the required data. For pre-testing of the instrument, the researcher developed the 6 semi-structured questions and pre-tested the questions to the 4 students from the same age, and small changes have been implemented based on their feedback. For data collection, the researcher collected data by using the semi-structured in-depth interview. The interviewer gave the consent form to the participants to get permission before starting the interview. The time for the interview from 20 to 60 minutes. The interviewer stopped the interview when data saturation occurred, that is, when no further code was identified through the last interview. In the 40th interview, data saturation has been applied. To ensure the data saturation, 2 more interviews were conducted here. Next is sampling. For sampling, the participants of the study are boys and girls between 15 and 18 years old. The participants who are lack of propensity to continue participating, dishonest answers, and not signing the conditional consent will be excluded. All of them are 46 adolescents participated, but there are 4 participants excluded for not making it correctly during the interview. So the data saturation was achieved by 42 people only. The concept for a sample size in qualitative study is saturation. Saturation is closely tied to a specific methodology, and the term is inconsistently applied. In this study, the data had been collected from 42 people. Next is sampling method. The sampling method were used in this study to select the most informed and knowledgeable samples. The researcher recruited participants with maximum variation, which is their age, gender, and socio-economic status, and from different places that adolescents can be found, such as parks and school. Samples have been selected one by one for the interview until saturation was reached. The last method and sources is analysis plan. In this study, the data collected will be analyzed with content analysis method. Content analysis is a research tool used to determine the presence of certain words, themes, or concepts within some given qualitative data. The researcher also used Maxdar software to analyze the interview to get the systematic analysis and interpretation of the data.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Shamira binti Abdul Samad. My metric number is A19A0689. Today, I want to explain about Chapter 4, which is Implication and Contribution to Knowledge. This study is based on the behavior of adolescents who practice fast nutrition, and it employs a variety of indicators as well as the effect of variables. This study is significant because it examines how gender, allowance, behavior, attention, social support, and access to information influence fast food consumption behavior among Malaysian adolescents. 4.1 Practical Implication. The primary goal of this study was to investigate the factor that influence fast food consumption among Malaysian adolescents, and this study has implications regarding the disadvantage of fast food to adolescents. After that, it will cause a number of diseases that will have an impact on adolescent behavior in terms of fast food consumption that exceeds recommended limits. Meanwhile, the main enemy of the body's health is the cause of various diseases. At young age, however, it can produce a variety of risk factors that will influence negative consequences in their future. Adolescents who frequently consume fast food, such as instant noodles, will also suffer from decreased productivity, like a decrease in a daily activity on the deck due to the lack of energy and nutrition. 4.2 Contribution to knowledge. The survey finding the support of the theory of the factors that have influenced fast food consumption among Malaysian adolescents in terms of understanding and negative consequences for adolescents who frequently consume fast food. Next, this variable emerged among adolescents and can be seen in a study of data that is relevant and has influenced an adolescent's fast food consumption behavior. This chapter summarizes our research proposals to add or improve knowledge about the side effects of fast food among adolescents. This study also has significant implications for raising awareness and knowledge about fast food consumption to adolescents in Malaysia. That's all for me. Thank you.